Dude, I'm gonna hold firm on this. I think that the mental hospital does more damage than it does good. Like the mental hospital is awesome when you got a guy with schizophrenia like screaming naked underneath a bridge. Because the cops will come get the guy, they'll put him in the mental hospital, get him some help, feed him some medication. He might get out and get some housing, and everybody's good. But for typical people like me and you, it seems to be a bit of a nightmare. Like, I'll give you one of the scenarios. I'm fine now, by the way. I'm not going crazy right now, so we're good. But when I went nuts one time, I went to the mental hospital and they put you in this isolating room where they don't give you any information. They make you sit there for like 8 to 12 hours. It's like this isolation viewing holding tank thing where they're trying to make sure you're not so nuts that you do anything crazy, etc. So I'm bored out of my mind. I'm mega extroverted and I have no one to chat with. The TV is semi broken. I don't know what's going on. I just want some help. So I'm like, crap, I'm screwed. I'm going to try to get some sleep. So I walk up to the people, the nurses, and I go, hey, would there be any possibility that I can get one Benadryl? Just one. It's good for anxiety. It might help me sleep a little bit. Just nap some stuff off. The lady goes, sure, I'll grab you some Benadryl, no problem, with a smile on her face. Well, 30 minutes goes by, and I ask, like, hey, would there be any way you can get that Benadryl? So I'm trying to be nice. I want to stay on their good side. She's like, yeah, I'll get that for you, no problem. I'm not lying, swear to God. 2 hours later, I asked for the Benadryl. Hey, like, you promised you'd give me some Benadryl. She's like, yeah, I've got you, no worries. Another hour goes by. And I go, this is not going to happen. Why does she keep telling me yes? Why doesn't she just tell me no? So I don't get my Benadryl and I start to get angry. And I'm like, I'm in this place where everybody's crazy and I'm trying not to be crazy. So why don't I just go crazy? They gave me a great excuse. Let's just go crazy. So I walk out into the main area and they're like, Matt, get back in your room, get back in your room, get back in your room. I'm like, no, I'm not going back in my room. You wouldn't give me the stupid Benadryl I asked for 3 hours ago. You kept telling me yes. They're like, we'll get that for you. We're going to get that for you. I go, I'm not going to go back in my room. There's no point. You're not going to help me. You're not going to do anything for me. And they're like, calm down, Matt. Calm down, Matt. And I go back into my room. I'm frustrated as hell. I'm causing a huge scene on purpose because this was something so simple, the simplest objective ever. Benadryl isn't a narcotic. It's not a crazy drug that'll hurt people. I knew people who were nurses who worked in mental institutions. They're like, we gave out Benadryl all the time. So I go back into my room. I'm super pissed off. And the nurse comes in. And she's like, I've got something for you, Matt, to help. I go, is it the Benadryl I asked for? She goes, no, no, no. It's fucking Xanax. It's Ativan. You want Ativan? I'll give you this Ativan. And I go, what's Ativan? She goes, it's like, like a Xanax kind of. And I'm like, dude, do you see the problem here? Do you see the problem? You just gaslit me for like 3 hours as I asked for the most simple thing possible, and you hand me a freaking an Ativan, a Xanax. I go, is this going to hurt me? I'm like, this is a narcotic. And she goes, no, it's not going to hurt you, Matt. Just take it. I take it, and I feel kind of drunk and kind of stupid. And another time I was in the mental hospital, I didn't get underwear for 4 or 5 days. They do this thing, and I think it's because they're overworked, they're stressed out with their own lives, and they just kind of ignore what you need. And another scenario happened. This is another separate scenario. I just got into the mental hospital, and it's a brand new place to me. I've never seen this place before in my life. I don't know what the hell is going on. And I was like, hey, would like one of the 8 nurses on duty be able to just chat for 5 minutes? The entire objective was to just say, hey, like, I'm just going through a lot, and this is just a lot for me. And them to go, yeah, I understand. That was it. Didn't want anything more, didn't want anything less. And I kept asking them over hours, and they kept going, yeah, we'll help you out. Yeah, we'll help you out. And then they get curious 5 hours later on why I blew up on them and why they had to hand me separate drugs. I mean, most, if not all, the people there really weren't in the patient's best interest. And they kept getting so confused on why everybody got so angry all the time. Why did they get angry? Well, maybe because they were ignored. Maybe because the simple things that they needed weren't there. Maybe because there was no one to talk to and no one to help them. There was no on-site therapist, there was no people there to help you, and all they did was push these people to the edge. There were very few people in there that truly meant well, that truly had a soul. But I would lose the soul myself if I worked that job. I can barely work 27 hours a week and keep it together, let alone 40, and deal with mentally ill people. So I see where they're coming from, and I see why this happens. There was a new employee there at the mental hospital when I stayed there for a couple of weeks. And he had this glow on his face, like he was excited to be there, excited to help. He referred to everybody as Mr. and Mrs. and all of this stuff. And he really helped people. It's because he wasn't burnt out. He didn't hate his life yet. But again, we can't just draw a firm conclusion. This is not the answer everywhere. This is not what every place is like. My one buddy who was there at the time can corroborate all of this. We're friends to this day. We're great friends. But he left to another institution where everybody seemed to be so much better. But they get curious. Why did the one patient who's extroverted freak out when you locked them in a room with nothing to do all day? You know, the the lack of communication on what the hell is going on. If I had somebody separate come up to me and go, Matt, you just need to pretend to be normal for 1 week and we'll get you out of there. Instead, they wouldn't answer any of my questions. None of them. So that's why our mental health industry is messed up. And I think it's damaging towards people like me or damaging towards other people just trying to get help and get better because this is a place where I get better, right? No, you don't. You don't get better there. And I think that it'd be pretty cool to volunteer for a mental hospital. Because what I would do is, because we had a lady, this chaplain lady, she was a religious lady, and she would come in and she would chat with people and she would provide presence. And that's what they need. These people need presence. They need somebody to just listen to them for 5 minutes. Really. I mean, it helps. It helps more than you think, more than you know. I mean, how I would volunteer if it was possible is I would just show up, say what's up, let them know, like, hey, dude, all you got to do is just play it cool for the next week. They'll get you out of here. Give them that little bit of support that they need. Because they really do aggravate these patients pretty bad. Pretty bad. I don't have any hate towards them. I just hope the mental industry gets a bit better. Another thing too is they'll visit, for example, like I have quiet borderline personality disorder, which is totally curable, by the way. Over 10 years, it'll go away. I'll go into remission and I'll be fine. I made great strides. But when I first started with my mental problems and I wanted help, I would go to a psychiatrist. I would see them for 30 minutes and they would give me these long diagnoses and loads of different medication and things without actually diving into the core problems. And medicine sometimes can make you more mentally ill than not being on medicine, sadly. I've taken certain like I took this one called Abilify. I took the smallest dosage possible and I was so depressed I couldn't even walk to my mailbox. You see? Or even if you have somebody who's depressed, they're depressed, they just struggle to get out of bed and they're having a horrible time. And, doctor will give them a medication. They'll take it and it'll make them more depressed. And they're like, why isn't this working? The doctor's like, you just need to give this more time. Sorry, my camera ran out of storage. So it's like, you just need to give this more time. Take some more medicine. Wait a little while. Well, those months wasted of rotting in your bedroom, asking when the hell is this going to be over and it doesn't end, and they give you more medicine, But we have the flip side of the argument. Not everything is black and white, crystal clear. We have the opposite where medicine truly does help and it can make such a significant impact on somebody's life who's struggling. So it's a very tough balance. And all I can say is be so careful. Another thing that's not touched on enough is that quitting medicine can make you go absolutely insane. So, for example, if I take an antidepressant for 3 months, my body's going to adjust to that antidepressant. But if I quit it suddenly, my brain's going to go through shock and it's going to try to restabilize. And in that point of restabilizing, it's going to create some very wonky results. When they put me on lithium, Seroquel, Buspar, I was on polypharmacy. And I'm a person with emotional issues. It made my life absolutely horrible. I was like, man, I'm going to quit this stuff. So I cold turkeyed it and I went insane. I ghosted my family. I thought I was like 3 different people. And that's what brought me to the mental hospital. But no one told me that. So I think the industry has so many things to work on. I mean, a lot of it's just gasoline for the fucking fire, But that's my ramble. Not everything's black and white. There's some really good nurses. There's some really good doctors, and they shouldn't be discounted. There are. They're are truly some absolutely wonderful people out there. But hopefully this made sense. This is my YouTube channel where I just ramble. I don't think hard about the objective. I talk about whatever I want. And you can subscribe if you want, or don't subscribe, or leave a like, or leave a dislike, or leave a comment. I think comments are fun. Let's hear about your story. And you mentally, what do you think about mental hospitals? Have you ever been in one? What was your experience like? Hopefully your experience was better than mine. That's all I gotta say. I mean, yeah, dude, it's crazy out there. Life is really weird. I deleted social media too. That made me feel a lot better. Obviously, YouTube is a form of social media. But the internet's an odd place because everything's so filtered and you can craft any narrative you want. What if I lied to you about all of this? I wouldn't. It's stupid. But, and then same thing with like being on Facebook. It's like, I really want the validation of other mentally ill people. Because usually the internet's overrun with mentally ill people like me. I mean, I don't know if I'm ill, but I'm sick. You know what I'm saying? I'm sick. Sick. Freaking sick. I'm so cool. God, I'm such a genius. Nobody understands me. Better yell at somebody online. But it's cool. It's the internet. I can do whatever I want. I love making videos. It's so much fun. I've been doing it for years, but I just didn't post any of them because I was kind of embarrassed. Not really embarrassed anymore. I'm 28. What do I got to lose? I work as a cashier. It's like, who cares about me? But yeah, I hope you have a freaking great day, and thank you.